Hi guys, I'm Kalilah Reynolds and it's time for another episode of Money Mondays, brought to you in partnership with Proven Wealth and the Jamaica Stock Exchange. So today I want to take it back to the basics. This is especially for all my new followers. Welcome. A lot of you are starting from scratch and you've been asking me basic questions like, what is a stock? How does the stock market work? And more importantly, how do I make money from the stock market? Because that's why we're all in it, right? To make money. And guess what? It's okay if you're asking these questions. You don't need to feel ashamed that you don't know anything at all about stocks or investing. Most of us weren't taught anything about this in school. I sure wasn't. So showing an interest and asking questions is the right way to start. Never be embarrassed to ask a question, no matter how basic or how obvious it may seem. That's how you learn. So here goes. First of all, what is a stock? Okay, so a company will divide itself into a number of shares, also known as stock or equity. And they do that mostly for the purpose of selling those shares or stocks to the public. So I can have a company and I'm the sole owner of that company. I don't necessarily need to divide that up into shares. It's understood that I own 100%. If I take on an equal partner, we both own 50% each. But if I decide to list on the stock exchange and open my company up to the public owning part of the company, literally thousands of people could decide that they want to buy a part. And in that scenario, it gets a bit more complicated to keep track of who owns how much. So it's much more useful to divide the company up into shares. That way, everyone can keep easy track of exactly how much of the company you own. It's basically a way to take stock, hence the term stocks, used interchangeably with shares. Now, people can buy and sell these shares. That's called trading. For me to buy shares, that has to mean that someone else is willing to sell their shares because there's only a set amount. Way back in the day, before stock markets existed, it was very hard for people who wanted to buy and people who wanted to sell to find each other. Thus, stock markets or stock exchanges were created. It's literally a place for people to exchange or trade their shares. Same concept as a market, hence stock market. And stock markets have strict rules. If you're a company that wants to list on a particular stock market, you have to follow those rules, such as you have to publish your financial statements every quarter. So the public, that's all your shareholders and all your potential shareholders, can see exactly how the company's doing, because shareholders are part owners, so they have a right to know what's going on with the company. Shareholders can also attend some of the company's meetings, such as the annual general meetings, and shareholders also have certain rights, like ordinary shareholders have the right to vote at shareholders' meetings. So you can help determine critical decisions that a big company like Grace Kennedy or NCB makes. Doesn't that make you feel powerful? You also have the right to receive dividends, which refers to a certain share of the company's profits. That's one of the ways that you make money from investing in stocks. The other way you make money by investing in stocks is when the price of the stock rises. So if you bought the stocks for $1 each and the price rises to $2 each, your shares are now worth twice as much. That's called price appreciation. And this benefits you when you're ready to sell the stock, because technically you haven't really made any money until you actually sell. Of course, prices can also depreciate and you lose money, but prices go up and down every day. So don't freak out if you see your stock lost a few cents today and then panic and sell because you don't want to lose any more money. Tomorrow it might just be back up. It's better to monitor the stock's performance over time. The JSE's app and website have lots of cool charts that allow you to do that. You can just click on a particular stock and see a chart for how it's performed over the past 3 months, 6 months, a year, and so on. But if you see time is going and the stock price still isn't recovering, you're going to shareholders meetings and you're not satisfied with what the board says they're doing to turn things around, and you think they're making poor decisions, then it might be time to consider cutting your losses and moving on to something else that has a better chance of success. Well, that's it for this episode of Money Mondays, brought to you in partnership with Proven Wealth and the Jamaica Stock Exchange. And you can find Proven on Instagram at We Are Proven and the Jamaica Stock Exchange at JamStockEX. If you want to learn more about how the stock market, and in particular the Jamaica Stock Exchange, works, you can DM me for a link to their little blue book, A Guide to Jamaica's Security Markets. I'm Kalilah Reynolds. Like this video, comment below what you'd like me to talk about next, share with a friend so we can all learn together, and subscribe and follow my channels at Kalilah Ray on Instagram and youtube.com/Kalilah Ray. See you next week.